Peace of Christ be with you.
Also with you.
Maybe a little different than a lot of the committees and teams that have been up here who serve you. While we serve you, it's really you that do the service when it comes to Mission Central. You are Mission Central. And that was your 2016 ministry. Amazing amount of fruit as a gift of God through your work, through your time and through your talents and through all your giving. We thank you so much. As a board and as staff, we so appreciate all you do, and we would literally be sitting on our hands if it wasn't for all that you do. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much. Please don't stop. If you missed any of the bits of statistics that happened on the infographic, it's in the handout that you received today on a single page. And you can see that infographic again at our website if you would like to see that. We talk a lot in God moments, the miracles God does among us through all of you in the ministry of Mission Central. And one I just want to share with you is that over the last 2 years, our building debt has been reduced from $1.4 million to just a hair over $700,000.
Amen.
2 years. Right? Thank you. That is a miracle. No question. When you hear of the graciousness that has been presented at the teams who've been on this stage this morning, and to recognize that continues. You fund Mission Central, not through apportionments, but just through your own gifts, churches and individuals. And on top of that, look what you've done at continuing to pay down the debt. We thank the bishop's partners in mission especially for being a huge, significant piece of that ability to pay down that debt. Now, since so much attention is put on paying down the debt, we tend to sort of forget our operating budget. So one challenge, if you're a church that's looking for another mission opportunity, would you consider sponsoring a day at Mission Central? Or maybe if you're an individual looking for a great return on your ministry investment, would you consider sponsoring a day of operations at Mission Central? We would greatly appreciate that, as we've increased our budget significantly by faith this year and taken on an additional staff member. Bottom line, thank you so much. We have a lot of business to do. I want you to know that we are so thankful for all that you do, all that you give, all the prayers, all the hours, all the donations. Thank you. I want to introduce Rob Vischer, our very amazing executive director.
Thank you. That was Reverend Bob Ryder, our board president. I don't know if he said that, but yes, I get to work at the best place in the conference. I'm biased, I'm sorry. I have the best job, and it's exciting to be there. I'm in my 7th year, soon to start my 8th year at Mission Central, and every day it's exciting to go and see the hand of God at work as we reach out across the globe and even in our own backyard. Over the last 7 years, Mission Central has really grown exponentially. Our scope of mission and work has expanded. We're moving $7 to $10 million worth of product, touching 3 million lives. Could you have imagined that 15 years ago, when you as this body created that mission, that it would be doing that extensive of work? We truly are the hands and feet of Christ to the world as Bishop Irons had envisioned for us to be. He envisioned Mission Central to be a gift to the world. And to that end, over the last year, Bishop Park created a task force to look at how we can broaden not only our scope of mission and ministry, but also to broaden our support beyond the United Methodist denomination. We clearly already are ecumenical, but there are certain ways that we can expand that base of support legally and financially, and that brings us to today's presentation. The task force that the bishop created was to study these ways, and it brought us to this resolution. I want to briefly read the names of the members of the task force. And this was a mutually agreed upon, both from the board of directors of Mission Central and also the conference. The members of the task force are Lisa Bender, the secretary of Mission Central, and also to the conference. Adam Hoover, who is Mission Central's director of development, a staff person. Bishop Neil Irons, retired former bishop of Central Pennsylvania Conference. Reverend Greg Myers, assistant to Bishop Jeremiah Park. Reverend Barry Robeson, Harrisburg District Superintendent. Reverend Bob Ryder, President of Mission Central Advisory Board. Reverend Dr. Thomas L. Salzgiver, Director of Connectional Ministries. Amy Scrignoli, Member at Large, Mission Central Advisory Board and President of Belco Community Credit Union. And of course myself, Rob Vischer, Director of Mission Central. As I mentioned, Bishop Irons said that Mission Central was a gift to the world. And unfortunately, Bishop Irons' schedule would not permit him to be here at this appointed hour today. So he's coming to you via video, and he does have some words and greeting for you. Please watch this video.
15 years ago, this conference gave nearly universal approval to a mission vision. And the amazing miracle was this. Mission Central was born under two conditions. The first was that Mission Central was to be pure mission. Everything that came through the warehouse would be donated and then given to those people in those settings where need had taken away the ability to purchase some of the essentials for life. Mission would be central to everything. Secondly, the annual conference's commitment was to hold the mortgage and provide some very essential staff assistance. This move was unprecedented in my ministry, and it was surely of God. It was agreed that this Christian mission would partner with any others who share such a commitment to those in need. That is where we are today, still moving outward to a world of need and opening our doors to any who will share in this incredible journey, to those whose hands are reaching out for help. Who could have imagined at the beginning how Mission Central would continue to move beyond a single warehouse? Today there are 37 hubs in 9 states, extending this work in and through an interstate network and interchurch network. The more hands and hearts there are, the better is the work of Christ. At this year's annual conference session, there will be a resolution that will further widen the doors for others to share in this vision of real mission. In carrying out this work of Christ, we will be able to invite many foundations and funding groups outside the United Methodist Church to participate financially in this God's work. Let me be clear. There are foundations that prefer to contribute to faith-based causes. Since their boards are made up of people of other faith communities, they will give only to broader-based causes. No funds will be received from any foundation that would keep Mission Central folk from witnessing and being clear that this work is built on the foundation of Jesus Christ. Mission Central happened so quickly due to the urgent needs of the world around us that this step simply didn't happen at the beginning. Our logo of joined hands symbolizes the way Mission Central helps people to join hands with those who reach toward the church for help. This resolution widens the circle of hands by making it possible for others to join this holy circle. The vital work of Mission Central cannot continue without the faithful efforts of volunteers and the ever-needed personal and church contributions that provide the means for keeping Mission Central alive and vital. Jesus prompted his first followers, and now us, that those who see others in need and reach out and care for them are the carriers of the kingdom of God. There is no other source of financial or volunteer support beside the current pattern of giving from faithful people and faithful churches, coupled with outside foundations that share this vision. The resolution allows for Mission Central to invite those other foundations to share in the joy of a mission that asks for nothing in return. Christ's gift of himself was for all the world. This is the banner under which we will continue the mission. It is the way of Christ. It is our hope that we will continue to expand and widen our work to join hands with any whose hearts are as our hearts. I hope you will approve this resolution.
I would invite you to turn either in your workbook or the resolution was on your table or chair today. It's Resolution 9, Mission Central. It was 14 years ago, 11 months, almost to the day, that the Central Pennsylvania Conference voted to establish Mission Central. Never did we think that we would get to this point of growth, of what would happen and how lives could be touched. But we have seen God do amazing things, and so that's why we're here with this resolution, Resolution 9. And I would invite you to look particularly at the "Be it further resolved." I'm assuming you've read this, and let me just highlight that what we are asking is that Mission Central become an independent entity, allowing it to continue to minister as it has in the beginning. But this will allow us, as we develop a 501c3, to go after more faith-based money, because there are several foundations that will not contribute to a denomination, but to a faith-based organization. We also believe that now is the time that Mission Central can do even more ecumenically than we're able to do. It would be to form a covenant relationship statement with the conference and Mission Central, and you'll see the other things that we will do and come back at a report at next year's annual conference. So therefore, Bishop Park, I move the acceptance of Resolution 9.
It is before you, and this is time that you may raise some questions and have discussions on the resolutions presented to you. Anybody would like to speak? Microphone number 7, please.
Thank you, Bishop. Pastor Claire Panabaker, representing the Ramey Charge on the Altoona District. Looking through this and through Dr. Arndt's presentation and what you said, could you give us names of these granting sources so that we have a greater understanding of who it is that does not want to give to Mission Central on the present?
I can give you one example right off the top of my head. The Hershey Foundation does not contribute to a denomination per se, but they will contribute to faith-based organizations. There's been several others. I don't have them right here in front of me. I could email you a list or something if you sent me an email list. But we've been many times who've experienced, we've immediately been turned down for a grant because we are part of the church, and they see that as a proselytization. But we're actually a faith-based, Christ-centered organization that has no strings attached to what we do, because we do it in response to the love of Christ to uplift those that are in need.
Second question was I'm a great fan of Mission Central, okay? I get my churches to donate on a regular basis, and I brought down a whole van full of stuff. But at the end of this process, will Mission Central then be accountable yet in any way, shape, or form to this annual conference?
As I see it as director, the relationship will continue the same as far as how we interact with one another and respond. The bylaws will be designed such that the bishop will have representation on the board of directors. There will be representatives as well. We'll report annually to this conference. We'll continue the relationship with the churches, continue to go out and speak, to encourage you to participate in our work and ministry, and also we will be there to help and equip you as well in your mission and ministry. There's many churches that we've helped equip ministry, and we will continue to do that.
I recognize microphone number 2.
I had one
Unless
more
you have
question.
anything.
I had one more question.
Another question.
Well, yes. When we go back to the sources, will there be in your bylaws that those sources will be faith-based sources?
Yes, as Bishop Irons mentioned in his video, we will continue to work as a faith-based organization, and we will receive no funds that would restrict us in any way to carry out our faith in Jesus Christ and to continue to be the hands and feet of Christ.
Thank you.
Thank you. Microphone number 2, please.
John Piper, retired. I speak in favor of this, and there is precedent for this, of course, as I'm sure people at Mission Central know. The Preachers Aid Society of the Susquehanna Conference is a 501c3 organization, separately chartered, but affiliated with the conference, and would have the same role, has the same role that we would be moving in this case to do. So I strongly support this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Who would like to speak against? Well, then who would like to speak in favor? Microphone number 4. Please, your name and your church, and let us know whether you speak in favor or against.
My name is Kathy Heaps. I'm with the Gatchowville Charge in York District. I guess I have a question. As far as the financial support that Susquehanna Conference gives to the Mission Central, and the fact that we hold the mortgage and we support your staff, I understand. Will that continue, or how will that be addressed in this resolution?
To clarify, Mission Central has never, nor has in the future, received ministry shares from this conference. Mission Central has totally raised their operating budget separately from the conference ministry shares. We indeed are part of the conference, legally, currently as it stands, considered sort of a department of the conference. So the conference does indeed handle our bookkeeping legally, and we are conference employees as employees of Mission Central. However, all of the funding is indeed already being raised separately from the ministry shares. What will happen is that will continue. We have built a strong ministry over 15 years, and we believe we can continue to get even stronger as we go forward. We will continue the relationship with the conference. However, we will then do our own payroll and our own bookkeeping, but again, the conference has not supported us financially through the ministry shares. Now, clearly, you all as churches have supported us. I'll bet I could have at least one, if not multiple people from every church in this conference say that they have supported Mission Central. And we are indeed grateful for that, and we will continue to count on that support from you. But just know, and please understand, that we have never been a line item on the ministry shares budget of this annual conference.
The other thing is the loan that is held with Mission Central. Over the next months, as we begin to work with the different conference entities, part of what we need to do is figure out how does that all work. This enabling legislation allows us to do that. Our hope is that because of the faithfulness of people that have been contributing, that loan amount will reduce. So when we come to that final point of doing the 501c3, it will be very manageable at however we decide, whether that stays with Mission Central or what. So it was for the loan as well.
As leader of Mission Central on the ground, My goal and objective has been for the last 7 years, and Bob can attest to that, is that when we get to the point of these levers maneuvering to become our own 501c3, that mortgage would indeed be satisfied, or that loan through the conference loan fund. And as he reported already, we've cut that in half, more than in half, in the last 2 years. Again, thank you, Bishop Park, for your work in helping us to do that.
Okay, microphone number 8, please.
Thank you. I'm Paul Reiner from the Truxtun United Methodist Church, which is part of the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton District. I just have 2 questions. One I think is fairly simple, and one I hope is not too complicated. The first question is, it seems to me that Mission Central has grown in its work and ministry so that it's able to sort of stand on its own 2 feet. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, we have been standing on our own.
Thank you. Well, yes. Thank you. And so in making this transition to a 501c3, have you considered, or perhaps you could share with us some of the concerns you might have, that, like maybe what could go wrong, I guess, in a simple question? Thank you.
Well, let me just say this. As someone who always looks at the glass half full, and also someone who says, well, as a farm boy, I used to say, shoot for the moon, you'll hit the fence post, but I've even changed that, shoot for the moon and you land among the stars.
Part of what we've done as a task force is try to identify what are all the possibilities. And we've come to some conclusions around having to have a reserve in place before we actually become that separate organization, and taking care of things like our debt. And we're still working through some of those, but we fully recognize that we have to set up a plan for this transition. It's not something that, oh great, conference has approved it, let's go get it done. The task force is going to continue to work to identify that plan that will roll out over time.
Thank you.
I recognize microphone number 6, please.
Yes, my name is Lourdes Stevens. I'm from York District's office. I am in favor for this Mission Central for the fact that it's giving us an opportunity to grow and expand, but also allowing other party to be part of the generosity of the blessings of God. Think about the amazing what God is going to do now and for the future, not just within our conference as a United Methodist Church, but also from other party who will be part of the faith work of God.
We heard 2 speeches in favor, so who would like to speak against? Seeing none. Who would like to speak in favor? Okay. Number 3 was first. Well, I have to recognize microphone number 3 first because he was there before. So let's wait and see. Yes, number 3?
In favor. Ron Whipple, Lemon United Methodist Church, Scranton Wilkes-Barre District. I understand that you want to form a 501(c), which could take up to 2 years to form. And I wondered if you had any plans to umbrella under another 501(c) in the meantime to get those extra funds.
No, because the assumption is that even though we're asking to come back next year as a report, if the 501c3 with Mission Central will still take some time, they will still rest with us under our umbrella until then. There's no thought of doing a different umbrella in the time.
Thank you. Microphone number 8, please.
Yes, my name is Kathy Armalay. I am with the Troth Creek Charge in the Altoona District. And as a director of a nonprofit, I am in favor of this. I realize that this will allow us as United Methodists to get those funds from other resources that are in tune with our mission, and that we can be the hands and feet on the ground through Mission Central. And I really pray for this, that we adopt this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. I just let the body know that I took the previous speaker not as a speech in favor, but who raised a question. So by now, we exhausted all three speeches in favor. So only at this time, I would like to entertain a speech against or questions this time. So any questions? Okay, your questions. Number 2, please.
Yes, my name is Barbara Yoder. I'm from the Lock Haven Parish and State College. And I'm concerned, I don't know if this is against, but I'm concerned when you talk about opening up for funds from other organizations and faith-based organizations. We don't know who they are. And I know that a lot of organizations that we support or people support often have their own agendas of who they support. And they might not be in agreement with what we believe or support. And I'm just concerned about
as we stated, our mission and our faith will stay at the forefront, and we will not accept funding that is contrary to that. And I would suspect that any organization that would have an issue with how we operate wouldn't support us in the first place. So I think that we will continue to do that. We will be very mindful about our mission and ministry. But if we have the same heart to uplift those in need, and we can work together, we will do that.
Okay, thank you. So let's start the Mission Central continued. So I would like to remind the body that we heard the speeches in favor and against. And I think we still have room to hear any speech against. And I recognize 2 persons who were at the microphone number 1 and number 3. So please come to the microphone, those who were there, and I recognize microphone number 3 now.
I am Edwin Miller, Bachman United Methodist Church, New Cumberland, Harrisburg District. And the question is, how will the director be appointed under the proposed arrangement? Thank you.
Currently, the board is the people who hire the executive director, and that would not change.
Okay. Where is the person who was standing behind the number 1?
I can address that, Bishop.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
The question was going to come over here. She spoke to me directly. Beverly was concerned about the United Methodist principles. We currently have that in our bylaws, that we uphold the United Methodist principles, and we continue to have that as our guideline as we operate.
Okay, thank you. So anybody would like to speak at this time? Seeing none, I think you're ready to vote on the resolution. So if you so approve it, would you raise your hand? Thank you. Opposed by same sign. It is adopted. I recognize a few hands, but it is adopted. Thank you very, very much. God is with us in this journey. Would you express your appreciation to Mission Central? But it is indeed for everybody. So many people are partners in this. So thanks be to God, the amazing witness that is so amazingly offered to so many people, so many places in and through Mission Central. Thanks be to God.